welcome back to HBO Girls Rewatch. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Evan.
And before we jump into today's episode, we just want to remind you to rate and review our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And if you're up to it, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at HBO Girls Rewatch.
And if you care about us even a little tiny bit, subscribe to our YouTube page. My little sister is beating us in number of subscribers right now, and that's humiliating.
Hey, I think it's time to lean into Lena now. Let's get into that episode. Welcome back to HBO Girls Rewatch.
I'm Amelia.
And I'm Evan.
And today we will be doing a
Season
season 2
recap. What were you going to say, breakdown?
Yeah, breakdown, recap.
You say breakdown, I say recap. 3, 2, 1. Recap. Ooh, it's kind of a fun combo.
Yeah, wait. People love in podcasts.
I'm like, we're not actually, if you kind of give me a quick little look to the cam, we're not having our traditional mugs right now because we're kind of in a dishwasher because we had a guest over yesterday, so we're kind of using old ones.
Yeah, just to be completely 100% honest and real and raw with all of you, we did record
so
season 3, episode 1.
That was, what was that called? Reuse, recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna.
Oh, but you kind of brought it to what you were doing before. You kind of brought another 3 R's to it.
Okay, period.
Realness.
It's like a mode, most, and median. Do you remember learning those in 5th grade?
Of course.
Mode, most often, median
is
middle.
And then mean is because it's the hardest one to do, and it's mean.
Average.
Well, that's average.
Oh, because it's the hardest one to do. My teacher never said that. That's genius.
Isn't that really smart?
In 5th grade, my teacher went on maternity leave, and our long-term sub was this really hot guy, and she made us call him Mr. Eye Candy behind his back. Isn't that completely inappropriate?
No, I love that.
Yeah, honestly.
We were talking about in the next episode. You'll find out because we're alluding to it again, but we've done season 3, episode 1 at this point. And I talk about how my teacher was so comfortable talking about rape in class.
Yeah.
Oh my god, to start to podcast I felt like that. But I just went to a really liberal school.
Literally.
But I just want to do a little quick thing about my mug.
Okay, yeah, talk about it.
Is that okay? That's why I brought it up because I was trying to.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No. It's okay. I'm glad. I want it to feel natural. I want the listeners to know what it's like. The candor of our.
Are we recording? Yeah.
Okay. So when I got my nose job, people decided to give me so many gifts. I didn't know when you got a nose job that it also came with like everyone in your community kind of rallying behind you more than they've ever done before. I think your community
just rallies behind you. Is something I've noticed.
It's like I got a stuffed animal rhino.
Mm-hmm.
I got this mug. Someone sent it from Seattle.
Oh my God.
I got candy. I got like blankets, pillows. It was like I got more gifts than I got during. What the hell? I got more gifts then than I got during Christmas. This is why all my friends are telling me I have to take a dialect class. My friends, I spoke in English my whole life. My friends are now telling me I have to take a dialect class because they can never understand me. I don't think dialect's
gonna fix you. I think it's a third thing.
Yeah, it's something so much worse.
There's something else. But wait.
I even tried mewing.
You guys celebrate Christmas?
Oh, right. Yeah, we kind of do a little Hanukkah, a little Christmas action.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because you know what it is? It's you can't escape Christmas. You kind of just have to go for it. You know what I mean?
Think about how many people celebrate Christmas because America and not because Christianity.
No, exactly.
Me posting on my Facebook when I was deeply religious when I was 12 being like, remember the reason for the seasons. While all of you post your new iMacs you got for Christmas, I'll be posting praise to Jesus Christ.
This is when Amelia was in her self-afflicted religion phase.
I think it was
self-harm.
Cool. I think it was cool to be really into Christianity in Texas as a teen, so I went for it.
Are you saying that sarcastically or you mean it IRL?
No, like it was literally cool. Like the most popular kids in school, your way to like impress them was to be a good Christian. That's why I was like killing it in middle school. My relationship with God was so strong. In 8th grade, all my friends bought me Jesus-themed birthday gifts, and they were like,
wait, what were the different themes
like
of Jesus?
Bible highlighters, because normal highlighters bleed through the pages.
So they're like lighter?
So they're like crayon or like waxy.
Ooh.
They're like waxy.
I hate that.
And then like a Bible carrying case, some like candles, some bracelets with like Bible
verses. You get rosary
verses.
beads?
No, I mean, I'm not Catholic. I was Methodist, which is a little bit different.
I mean, it went over my head.
It's kind of the spinoff.
A spinoff?
Yeah, it's the spinoff of Catholicism is Methodicism. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about girls. Let's give a brief overview of like what happened this season. You guys all have been listening. We've been talking about it, but like in summation.
Oh, I think it is funny how we tackle big words here.
Summation I nailed. I did it
You did it
effortlessly.
right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you thought you did it wrong for a second.
I actually didn't.
Oh.
I was just like, why is Evan being silent? But you read
that was
as
the reaction?
that. Yeah.
I was like, maybe I thought you did it wrong.
You were being amazed
I
by
did
me,
think
and
that.
I was like, this is every day for me. I'm knowing this word.
How amazed you are.
Well, I just know summation really well.
Was this me meant to win it, but we get 1 hour to do it, of course.
Wait, what if we did it in a minute, but we don't time it, so we guess when a minute is up?
Oh my! It's actually part of my disability is I have no idea what a minute looks like.
Okay, you get double time because it's an IEP.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, season 2, ready, set, go.
Ray and Shoshana are finding love really quick, and Marnie is not in her job anymore, but she's really not with Booth Jonathan the way she thought she was either, and Charlie is barely in the picture. Lena is kind of Hannah, that is. Hannah is finding her stride a little. She is not starting off in a great place, but she's kind of working her way up the corporate ladder, we're seeing. And she gets herself a book deal.
She gets herself a book deal. She gets herself a new boyfriend, not like Adam, someone who's really emotionally available, Donald Glover, Sandy. But that blows up really quick because they have one serious talk and Hannah can't handle it.
It's 2 episodes.
And then she fucks, there's the bottle episode this season. She fucks Patrick Wilson. That was huge. One Man's Trash. Oh my God, throwback.
Fucking Patrick Wilson is huge.
Yeah, and then Jessa's marriage, of course, fails when she goes to meet Thomas's John Perrin. She kind of throws that away. She's crying in the bathtub. Lena's crying in the bathtub. Classic, classic, classic. Marnie's freaking out. She's like, why is my ex-boyfriend's dating Audrey Gelman? And why did he launch an app? Wait, fuck, I need to get back with him. He's perfect. I'm going to sing a song at his work event, and that's really cringe.
Oh, yeah, and Elijah's kind of coming in and out of the picture. Hannah replaces Marnie with Elijah for a bit there while he moves in, and Marnie moves out after Hannah.
They do coke. This is season 2. They do the coke, and Elijah reveals that he slept with Marnie, and Hannah's like, "Well, you have to move out." And then Hannah gets OCD, and that gets really bad. Yeah, she can't write her book. Comes back. Adam rushes in season finale to save that girl, and that's and Jessa. We see we find out in the last scene of this series, season 2.
Yeah,
she is at rehab, and that's where she ran away to when we went to meet Jessa's dad.
Exactly, and we met to meet Jessa's dad, that's a terrible relationship, and Adam tries to find another love for his life, and it's not really what he suspected, and Ray and Adam go to Staten Island.
Yeah, and they go to Staten Island because Adam steals a dog because he's missing Hannah.
It is so funny that the last time we really see Ray and Adam together, it's like Adam's storming off because he like can't handle Ray on Staten Island with the dog.
And he like slaps the sign.
And then season 3 starts off with Ray living in Adam's old apartment.
Yeah.
It's like, when did they rekindle? Did I miss something?
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah,
I guess those boys worked it out.
I guess so.
That's 1 minute. Wait, we kind of killed that. It was definitely in chronological order, and we definitely didn't miss anything. But really quick before we dive in and review season 2, how are we at the end of our season 2? How do you feel right now?
Oh, yeah, I guess, well, our season 2 is 3 months, kind of in a way that in the show is depicted as 3 months as well, which is kind of interesting, like, because it's so week for week, the episodes. Like, every episode's almost like 1 week of time.
Yeah, it's like when they go on summer break, we skip those 4 months and we don't get back to where we were.
I know, the show's never really in winter. I mean, it is for a little bit, but for the most part, it's one of those shows that they always like film in fall, spring, summer.
It's classic. Remember how Broad City always filmed in summer? And then season, they were like, we're going to do winter. And everybody was like, oh, God, Alana's depressed.
Exactly. When it's winter, it actually is becoming a 5th character of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why am I? Huh. No, and yes, and that shit, babes.
No, yes, and that.
Yes, and that. Well, right before this, I did a meditation from Jay Shetty. Amelia and I both are stage performers, and randomly today's daily calm from the Calm app with Jay Shetty was about stage performing, and it was speaking about how stage performing is often less preferred. People rather get the flu than go on a stage.
And I'd rather.
I mean, that's actually the clear signifier that we actually are sick. Right? It's a sickness
that is
worse than the
crazy to me
flu.
though. Like it's because I've made it so it's almost every person I talk to would also much rather be on stage than get the flu. So it's like now I'm in this bubble of like not being able to understand that most people are afraid to talk.
No, literally, we're like in a COVID bubble, but it's a different sickness.
It's a different
It's one to
sickness.
be,
It's much more
it's
worse.
much worse.
Well, what did you learn from the thing?
Oh, well, because so then this Harvard, I don't understand why in my daily column we were talking about a Harvard study, but it's truly beautiful that Jay Shetty's able to wheel that in. And it's funny because my friend's like the editor for that daily column. Whatever.
Brag.
Brag. It's my other friend that works in podcasts, one of the two.
Brag.
So it was talking about how in this study, it's so much easier to transition from anxiety, like stage anxiety, to excitement about performing versus trying to calm yourself down. So I feel like in a lot of settings before I perform, I like will do something called 4-7-8, which is where you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds, and it slows down your heart rate. But what I should be doing this whole time is kind of going like High School Musical. Like I should be getting like I gotta get my head in a game and get so excited. Like I gotta pump myself up cheerleader style. And that's kind of what sports is all about. It's like all about being like excited to get out there and kick a ball and like channeling your anxiety of like doing that and like into something so physical, where stage comedy is less so tactile and movement. That's like sometimes you feel like the right action is to calm yourself down so you can think logically, but that's so much harder to transition from an anxiety state to a calm state versus excitement. I'm running away from my baby.
Whoa.
Oh.
You learned a lot.
It was 7 minutes of calm.
I never feel anything. That just stressed me out a lot.
I didn't even
actually.
finish the full 7 minutes, and so I'm not really fully calm.
I wish I felt nervous. I never feel any sort of ping of like, you know how people are like, oh, my heart's beating quick or something. My heart only beats quick if I go run.
My heart, I have 8 different subjects in my head, and every single time I think of one of them, it makes my heart beat really, really quick.
Ugh, I want to know what excitement feels
I
like.
feel anxiety and excitement all day long. It's exhausting, and then I feel terrible. It's like I like 5 o'clock every day, which is almost now 4 minutes from now. I get so terrible. I mean, right now I'm drinking coffee and I'm in the mood, so I'll be fine. But like when 5 o'clock comes around, it's like, why am I suicidal ideating?
Suicidal ideating.
I said it wrong, and that's kind of where the place I am.
Then that's where you're at. That's beautiful, Evan. I love that.
Yeah, and then at 6 o'clock I'm fine. It's like this 5 o'clock is such a dangerous hour for
No,
me.
it usually happens at 3 p.m. for people. It's the 3 p.m. slump.
Yeah, 3 p.m. can happen for me too, but 5 p.m. is so.
I'm usually
yeah.
like 3 to 6 p.m. It's like the worst I've ever felt. I'll never recover. Time moves so slow. Yada, 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 yada. 6:05 p.m. I'm like, actually, my life is so chill. Everything is great. I'm going to do a little dance.
Is that circadian rhythm or is that something much darker?
I don't know what it is at this point.
You read 100 books on wellness, no offense.
Okay, well, whatever. Are you going to ask me about my day? How I'm feeling right now in my life?
I kind of don't even want to know about your day. I kind of want to know just how you're feeling. I want to check in on that brain of yours.
How am I feeling? It's like that's one of the worst questions. Like whenever somebody asks me that, I'm like, it's like
You have to lie.
Is there any way to know?
Well, if someone asks you how they, obviously, I think everyone in this earth has discussed this as well. It's like when someone asks you how you're feeling, they never want you to answer earnestly. Like my aunt, I remember this one time, where I'm like, how are you feeling? I'm like, okay. She said, okay. And I was like, you actually can't talk to me like that. Your guys are gonna be a good thumbs up, right? It's like, I actually don't want honesty from you. You're my 75-year-old aunt. I'm 15.
Sometimes I'll tell people like I'm tired, lol, just as like a way for them to be like I'm tired too and relate, even though I'm not actually tired in that moment. Just because it's like it's gonna spur conversation. Because if somebody's asking you that, they're wanting to start a conversation, and if you just say good, how are you, then it's like there's nowhere to go. But if you're like, oh, I'm so tired today. Ugh. It like really starts like a dialogue and communion. It's not to bring it back to Catholicism, but it's literally wine and wafer.
No, when someone asks me what's new with me, it's like, you want to know the darkest secrets of my life? Because that's the only thing changing right now. It's like the most intimate details of my life. That's where the change happens. And like, I don't actually feel that comfortable with you to go, what's new? You can ask me what's old. That stuff is out there. It's on my Twitter account. When you ask me what's new, it's like, I'm still dealing with that.
You should try this new line that I've been using all summer long. It's been like, there's so many options at the bodega now. I've been using that so much. And there is like 400 drinks you can then talk to a person about. It's amazing life hack. All of you at
I
home.
like that you say now. It's like you've known what a bodega landscape has looked like for so long.
Okay, well, even CVS, you could go Walgreens with it.
Right.
You know, whatever is your local, 7-Eleven, like there's enough little treats there.
It's funny you bring up grocery stores because I made a LinkedIn post about Trader Joe's today.
You're posting on LinkedIn?
Yeah, my mom told me it'd be a really good idea.
Our
Is the
host is
iPad
down bad.
tilting
folks.
over?
What?
Is the iPad tilted?
It's fine. I'm gonna crop it.
Yeah, I posted. It was like, I think every brand should have a podcast, and then I kind of made a post about how amazing Trader Joe's podcast is, and how every brand should have a Trader Joe style podcast. They have a really cool podcast. I say it 8 times. Podcast inside Trader Joe's. I actually give it a listen. They have really interesting marketing and recipe development.
Brands should not have podcasts. Girls should have podcasts.
There's so many girls with podcasts.
I
We should know.
but it's like if
need
we're
more.
gonna start 1,000 new podcasts in the world, I don't want them to all be different brands. I want them to be different girls.
Can girls be connected to brands?
Yes, that's the future of influencing. Don't you watch Coco Melco or whatever? Coco
I watched the
Mello?
video with you.
I know.
So you know the answer.
So you know the answer.
Girl, what girl are you? Amelia, I would love to know kind of, I think for the season 2, it's like, what of the 4 girls do you really find yourself being? Are you being a Jessa? Are you being Shashash?
So Shosh this season was falling in love for the first time and falling out of love for the
So
first
not
time.
that one.
So not that. That's never been a part of my story. Marnie, she is
Manic.
She's manic. She's losing all sense of belonging.
She lost her partner and
Her job.
then has to date Booth Jonathan.
Yeah, she's trying to like do the social climb thing, maybe like date people that she thinks are cool and gonna make her feel cool, but it's to little acclaim, and she's kind of an awful friend. Well, I don't want to say no to her right now, so I'm gonna put that on the
Table
tail
that.
as an option.
Hannah does not really making her relationship work, but she gets an ebook.
She gets an ebook, but it is like she's really bad at writing and gets really bad OCD.
But she gets on jazzhate.com, and that's really important.
And she is ultimately saved by her man at the end of the season.
And her
and
parents are worried about her.
She fucks a lot of different guys this season. Like, didn't before Adam, she hadn't really hooked up with that many people. And so now I think she's really like gained confidence from dating Adam.
Yeah, she got 2 guys under her belt this season.
Yeah, 3, because she fucks Jess's brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about the 19.
Really quick, and Patrick Wilson. So she really does a range of ages and vibes. And then Adam's the guy for her, which couldn't be me.
I mean, I'm sure they fucked at the last part of the season too.
Probably,
at the end of season. At the end of the season, I'm sure when Adam comes to rescue Hannah,
they
they're
fuck
effing.
while she has baby bangs. Probably,
I can see it.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
And she definitely wasn't gonna fuck Laird again.
Oh yeah, we forgot the Laird making out thing. A lot happened. And she makes out with Elijah. She made out with a lot of boys this season.
She's having fun.
You know, for somebody who made their summer to-do list to be like kissing a lot of boys, I really didn't.
You did hide the list. It was on our fridge, and now it's kind of
Well,
gone.
we hosted a giant party. I didn't need it to be out.
But you would tell podcast listeners.
Did I?
I'm sure we have.
Okay, perfect. And then Jessa, of course, causes drama, runs away, cries at her dad, and then disappears.
I know. I like Thomas John as much as we didn't like him. It's like I was really hoping for a second there it could worked out for them.
Am I Jessa this season or Marnie? You get a phone call.
It's my mom. Well, I'm a Shoshana, I guess. My mom's damn calling me right now. I would say that I think I don't see you as any of the girls this season.
Yeah, maybe I'm not in this
Because the
show.
thing is, you have the work ethic of a 35-year-old.
My problem is these girls are really lost and don't have their shit together at all. But it's like I'm maxing out my IRA right now. So it's like
I know.
It's actually really.
It's like season 2 is not for you, but
I guess Jessa, because I got dinner with my dad and that felt like that.
So maybe that episode you're Jessa.
Yeah.
But for the season overall, I do not see you as a Jessa.
Marnie, and that I'm manic a little bit.
I know, but the thing is, when people talk about Marnie, they're talking about like season 1 Marnie for the most part. Season 2, it's like she's not.
What girl am I? I'm Marnie before she gets fired. So
I'm
barely.
not loving any of these, honestly.
Honestly, sometimes.
I'm sorry to go so negative.
Girl, what girl are you? I'm not a girl for once.
You were a girl last episode too, or I guess season 3, episode 1.
Yeah. But let's move on to Ev then. Girl.
Wait, we didn't. Can we try to give it an answer though? And it doesn't have to be any of the girls.
I thought it was Jessa. You think
You're gonna land on
I'm
Jessa?
Natalia? I'm a private investigator.
You're Natalia. Oh my god, you're Natalia. That's a perfect answer.
Why?
Because she's got it. It's like you would operate the same way in a bedroom, like so I guess I'm only assuming. So communicative.
Right.
Like the way she's like, I just got a blowout.
Yeah.
If I'm sorry to say it like
Adam
that.
surprise
Wait, what is the blowout line? Is that season 3?
She's like, I had to get a blowout after that.
3, episode 1, but
if Adam surprise came all over my hair, I would absolutely go to a dry bar the next day.
No, 100%. And you kind of would take a licking.
Ultimately,
is it Jewish?
It is like, I would try anything once and then be like, I hated that and fuck you.
No, exactly.
I'm Natalia.
Yeah, I would say Natalia.
And just like that.
And just like that. This season, I feel like a lot of crossover with Shoshana. Like, definitely, I don't know why I feel in such a similar, like, I feel like I literally just graduated college in the way I operate.
They describe what?
I feel like I'm graduating college right now. Like, I kind of gave myself a self-education in the last year and a half.
Totally.
I kind of gave myself a college degree, it feels like. I could see myself in a race situation currently.
You're serving looks at
I'm wearing a donut. I could wear a donut in my hair.
Yeah, like that is something that's your story.
Right. But then again, it's like I would love to be Shoshana's friends on a rollerblade.
Ratika. I love that girl.
I feel almost like a Ratika. Like I want to be on a rollerblade. I want to be like, don't Ashton a mermaid. Like I feel like I such a Ratika.
You kind of are Ratika.
I feel like Ratika is the closest thing I found to community in this whole show.
Okay, I'm Natalia. You're Ratika. Girl, what girl you can be so many.
We didn't land on any of the prime four.
But that's fine.
It's like I literally spent 30 minutes diagnosing my friend today as what girl they are. And like when I have to turn a mirror on myself.
Who?
Shreya.
Yeah.
Girl, we
what
referred
is
to her.
she?
Well, because last episode we would kind of diagnose her as a Marnie online. And I had to go through and calm her down and make sure that she felt comfortable as a Marnie because we went through all the characters. And we're like, ultimately, you're going to land here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the one thing on Upwork I could really be charging people for is like diagnosing them as a girl's character.
Not you giving the Upwork plug without them sponsoring us. Take it back. Bleep it.
You did ride bubble, girl.
Can I just say really quick that I went to a workout class this morning and Chidi from The Good Place was there?
You're kidding.
It was
You're
huge.
doing surprise reveal.
I felt like I wasn't being completely upfront with y'all. It was such a like weird, I usually go to Pilates and this was like a circuit thing like in a garage. And I was like, there's no one that I'd ever know here. And then there was Chidi. What's his name? William something?
No idea.
I was so excited because I was like, this guy knows Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, the famous blonde actress.
I
married
love
to Dax
that girl.
Shepard.
She's so fun.
It's funny because it's like if you
William Jackson Harper. Shout out.
I think it's like for Dax Shepard versus Christy Bell. It's like Christy Bell's obviously the way more famous one, but then if you're in a podcast sphere, you're gonna know Dax.
No, okay. So here's the thing. It's like Dax Shepard was on The Parenthood and was really good in it. And then it was like Kristen Bell really blew up. She wasn't just like, oh, she's good. It was like Frozen happened. She was like star, icon, legend. And then, oh yeah, and The Good Place. Like so much happened. And it was like.
She did all those shoots, like Saving Sarah Marshall.
Literally. She's done it all.
I'm sure there's more. I just can't remember.
But he was
she in
like.
the sorority and something?
They were on a podcast. She was on his podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank God I got this podcast or else I'd feel really bad having such a successful wife and not being successful enough after Buddy Cops failed.
Buddy Cops. It's funny because for so long we were living in a time of Buddy Cop movies.
I know. They kept doing it like, what
or
if we did?
Spies.
Yeah, but they made it girls, 2 girls for once instead of boys, but it was still like, this is a boy movie. Like,
No, no one
can
can be
Kate
buddies on
McKinnon and
TV.
Sandra Bullock like be at a beach? Like, why do they have to be solving crimes?
I do think it's interesting because in TV right now we've moved so far away from buddies and we've moved into friend group. Like every TV show is about friend group now, and like Broad City's the last buddy show.
I know. We need a new one.
I mean, Pen 15's the only other buddy show that really comes to mind.
But it's so okay, I love the show, but it's also like, that was not my experience.
No, because they're doing kind of 90s.
Yeah, and
They're
it's
doing
like middle
2000s,
school for me was
90s.
all about the I Heart Boobies bracelets having to be flipped inwards during school hours.
That's universal.
I think so.
It was a universal experience having I Heart Boobie.
Did you have that?
Even in my middle school that had a dress code, people would even wear those bracelets.
Yeah. That was huge, and like the Hollister of it all.
Right, we couldn't see that, but a big thing was like having to wear your bat mitzvah sweatshirt to school, and like it was a sign of like popularity if you got to wear the bat mitzvah sweater the next day.
Oh my god, that's cool. Like if you just went to a concert.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so fun.
Because not everyone always get invited to them all, so you'd wear it like after gym class because that's the only time you could really wear a sweatshirt in school. Was like your bat mitzvah and bar mitzvah merch.
We fully had that for like weekend Christian retreats. We come back with like neon shirts that are like, God is a wonder. And it was like, oh my God, you were there too.
That was me at cross country meets. Every single cross country meet, I'd like reward myself with a neon extra large shirt that said like, just ran the wall. And it's like a stick figure like climbing like a singular line.
That's literally perfect.
And I have so many of them. And I also didn't go through puberty till I was 16. So me buying an extra large shirt was a dress. I was doing
yawn
drag.
was not at you.
No, I was doing drag at cross country meets.
Good. Someone has to.
For yawn not to be at me, it actually feels more offensive. It's like at least
at least be tired by what you're saying rather than it being something completely separate. Yeah, exactly. Okay, should we jump into the meat of the episode?
Yeah, I mean, if listeners are feeling really unsatisfied by our answer, girl, what girl are you? It's like, girl, get a grip. Yeah. We can do what we want. It's our damn podcast.
And wait, literally if you're on the YouTube, leave a comment what girl you've been feeling like this season.
It doesn't have to be primary for, but it's nice to hear that for. And I'm sure when we hear from listeners today what girl they were feeling like, it actually might inspire so many things for us.
Literally. So if you aren't following us on socials, we put out asking y'all to leave voicemails, telling us your favorite moments from the season. So today we're just going to go through and listen to all the voicemails and hear what y'all have to say. It was so fun to receive them.
Oh, I'm like, every time I was like in a dark part of this week to get a phone call from an area code that's like in Minnesota from my Google Voice connected to my phone number, truly was pulling me out. And I was listening in on them as they're happening IRL without actually like talking on them because Google Voice lets you be retro and like listen into a voicemail as it's being left.
That is so 2008.
And I'm literally like at an open mic at a friend's house and I'm playing voicemails for people and we're like all having so much fun like listening to these people talk, and like it brought me so much joy. So thank you everyone who left a voicemail or comment talking about your experience with girls. We really did light our lights.
Yes, and there's so many to get through, so we're gonna hop right in.
Hey girls, my name is Gina Brass. I am currently at my local farmers market in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. It's giving Mennonite core. I've been saying everything's like core lately, like you guys. Anyways, I just want to say you're doing an amazing job.
Mennonite core.
I got into watching girls when I was living in Toronto in 2012. I was the same age as the girls, and it hit a little too close to home, so I didn't take it as like satirical at all at the time, but now it's just so funny to me. And I think actually Marnie is the funniest. It's just
that's a lot of
she's
feedback.
Just too much. Anyways, you're my comfort show. I love you guys.
Aww.
And my quote of season 2 that comes to mind quickly is, as Hannah's leaving Donald Glover's apartment, she's like, I just didn't want you to have blue balls because that's something I also don't believe in. So that's that. Anyways, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Bye.
Oh my God. Gina, that was so sweet. And I do think it's funny that she was in Toronto in 2012 because every movie that's based in New York right now is being filmed in Toronto.
If there's one thing Toronto, the city, looks like, it's the set of Girls.
Yeah, 100%.
I just got chills saying that, especially westbound, like a westbound. Is that what it's called? Like near Christie Pitts Park and more west.
Wait, West Coast?
No,
Like westerly.
like the westbound line 2. That's gonna be just for you Canada heads.
Westbound line 2. It's like
So instead of letters,
I think I need every single word of that statement to be broken down for me. West line bound 2.
Toronto only has 2 subway lines, line 1 and line 2.
Oh, they're not numbers like I-95.
Well, it's line 1 and line 2. Line 1 does
That makes
north.
so much more sense.
Line 1 does north and southbound, and line 2 does westbound and eastbound. And so people who are like, oh, I live in the west part of Toronto, it's like they live off the west side of line 2. That's where I lived. I lived in Christie Pitt, like next to Christie Pitts Park. It was so cute.
No, that makes so much more sense than having I-95 or 140. It's like, what? No,
When I got to New York and
no,
took a
when
look
you
at
go
the
to
subway
LA,
lines. Okay, don't even get me
that's a
started.
highway clock.
I-10,
Core. That's highway
I-1.
core, bringing back to Gina.
You know, I got hit by a car in LA on the highway, and they like rammed into me, and they got out and they were like, I'm so sorry.
Wait, how
My
hard?
husband just divorced me. I'm really out of sorts. And I was like, you know what? It's no problem. Let me give you a hug. And then I hugged this woman for like fully a minute. And I was like, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. And drove away. Because I just had no.
Oh, she hit you while you were in your car.
Yeah.
I thought she hit you.
No,
The
she
way you
hit me.
described it
She
sounded
hit
like
my
she
car.
hit you with her car with you not being in the
That
car.
would have been sad.
Well, and I actually got hit by an actual bike recently. So for you to say that,
sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
triggering. I got hit by a DoorDasher.
Okay, but when a car hits another car, death is in the air. Like, it wasn't nothing.
I'm sorry. Wait. You're right.
You're acting like it's like, whatever. Anyway, she cried and was like stressed about her marriage ending. So I was like, I'm going to let you have this and not ask you for anything to fix the back of my car.
Ooh.
So, anyways.
You're really too kind, or were you in shock?
I think I was in shock, and then whenever a woman's in distress, I don't want to cause her more distress. And it's like I was about to sell my car anyways to move here, so I was like,
you just took $1,000 off of it.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna go to CarMax in 2 weeks and sell this car anyways. Can I just let her have this?
I guess it's not in me, but I'm so happy. Oh my god, the next person's from Toronto as well.
Wait, huge.
Sorry, there's a transcript of all the voicemails.
But yeah, that one scene, the Donald Glover of it all is really so funny. It is crazy to me still that he was just in 2 episodes because in my memory
I thought
bank,
it was crazy for you because you found out he's also Childish Gambino.
That is.
I literally rewatched that clip last night. It's like, I love that. And
I have no idea.
It's so funny.
There's no way for a girl like me to know who like that. My number one artist for every year I've been on Spotify is Taylor Swift, and like Lord, like it's like I'm what you would think. It's nothing. There's nothing else to it.
I get it. I just don't love it.
And that's so valid. Anything we should say on Gina?
I'm sure you're like so versed in his comedy career and you have no idea what Childish Gambino. But you know, it feels like, oh, has a song go? Whatever. Love you, Gina. That was thank you so much for doing this at the farmer's market. I actually, when you're doing it, it's like there's enough background sound for me to also be at the farmer's market. Like I could hear the vendors. You took
us there, Gina.
I could hear the vendors.
And it's like,
smell the apples.
We wanna use Gina as an inspiration. You know, you're allowed to listen to this podcast while you're at your local farmer's market. Support local.
No, exactly. The sounds that it was giving is like when you do like any kind of meditation like in the woods. But it's like we're doing a meditation at the farmer's market. Like you hear the vendors, you hear the apples. And I
like the idea of somebody
tomatoes.
Like picking out shishito peppers while hearing me crank on. Anyways, okay.
Love you, Gina.
Love you, Gina. We've got another girl from Toronto. Shout out Canada. Let's hear what Ava has to say.
Hi, I'm Ava. I'm from Toronto. I'm 22. I'm around Shoshana's age, I think, at the start. And I really relate to her. She's my favorite girl. My favorite moment from season 2, I'm watching with my sister right now, is probably when Marnie sang Stronger at Charlie's party. And I wanted to know why you think that moment resurfaced on Twitter, I think a year ago? What makes it so special? Is it just white girl cringe? from that time, but now we can all kind of relate to it. Are we all Marnies now?
Thanks,
First
Ava.
of all, thank you, Ava. That was insightful. I love that you and your sister are having such a good time with season 2.
Yeah, wait, for you and your sister to watch something together is something that seems really sweet.
There's something I've been suspecting for a while, though, is that we are living in a Marnie renaissance, and I think it's because Allison Williams was in Megan, and
I think
people really understood her after that.
I think it was the Megan, it was the Nope.
Yeah, it's Nope, it's Megan, it's like her new launch into scary films. And I think why Marnie's song is so big right now is because you can't listen to the Kanye version, so all we have is Stronger by Marnie.
Oh, because of Tidal?
Yeah, well, because Kanye was canceled.
Right. I mean, I mentioned it when we covered that episode, but it is so iconic of Marnie to have done that and then, like, gotten back together with her boyfriend. Girls can really do anything. It's really so, it goes to show you.
And I think it can be terrible things, too.
Yeah. Sorry if the audio went weird for a little bit. The thing keeps dying.
The next person is from Texas, Emil. We're kind of, it's crazy how many people, it's all Canada or Texas right now, which is kind of places you've lived. You're in home court advantage right now.
I know, this is huge.
Hi, my name is Kiera. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I first got into watching Girls off a whim. I think I just saw it somewhere on social media, and I heard about Lena Dunham and how everyone hates her, and obviously I'm going to watch because I like the drama. I think my favorite thing from season 2, I think my favorite episode, I'm going to say when Jessa and Hannah go to visit her dad, and her dad and the new girlfriend have Hannah eat their pet rabbit. Hannah fucks the brother, comes back and she's like, she's asking Jessa, like, oh, you had sex with him, right? And Jessa's like, that's disgusting. As if Jessa hasn't done, like, the most grossest things I've ever seen.
Okay, this is what I would say about this whole situation.
What?
Girls love emotions. And that's kind of why video games, the one where Jessa sees her dad this episode, really resonates with people, because it's like, that's kind of the big monologue. That's like the movie defining moment.
Yeah, you know what video games is to current pop culture? It's the girls being moved by the monologue in the Barbie movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the people that are like writing TikTok text about America Ferrera's monologue. It's the same thing as like Jessa being like, I'm the child.
People love monologues.
People are deeply moved by the power of like women showing the nuance of womanhood, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a push right now for subtle acting and how like we don't actually
subtle acting, yes.
Yeah, there's really a push for it right now, but we never really appreciate the subtle moments of actors' performance. We always kind of really hold on to the big moments, and I as someone, am trying to really focus on what it means to be like there in every scene and not just there for the big scene, and looking at actors when they're performing and trying to like internalize a whole performance.
Well, it's also like that episode is so powerful because up into like that point, we've really only seen Jessa being in her power.
Well, yeah,
I mean, we see her doing bad, but it's like she's not really lost. Like, we don't see her as this little girl that's like in hurt.
I know. Well, I've really been thinking about, because we had Charlie on for that episode, and he was talking about how Jessa's the most unwritten character in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But really watching it back and thinking about it now, it's not that she's the most unwritten character. It's more the fact like she's a more reserved person. Like the reason we're not always seeing all the sides of her is because as a character, she would never want to show that. If any character is underwritten, it's probably Shoshana. Especially in the first 2 seasons.
Before she starts dating Ray, definitely. But I mean, it's also like season 1, she wasn't supposed to be one of the 4 yet.
Is that true?
Rumor mill. But yeah, it is so funny when it's like Jess is down so bad and still finds it in herself to be like, ew, Hannah, stop embarrassing me. Like, what do you mean you fucked him? Gross. Also, when she's like, eat the fucking rabbit.
Eat the fucking rabbit. Yeah, exactly. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
To move on to next.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh,
I'm 23, and
turquoise.
I think probably my favorite moment throughout the entire season is when Marnie meets back up with Booth Jonathan, and he takes her to that disgusting apartment, and he shows her that horrible, horrible exhibit with all the televisions, and it's just like completely ridiculous. And at first she's like, what the fuck? And then afterwards she's like, thinks he's a genius. Like, that's absolutely insane to me. And I just think it's so funny. And it's also like my least favorite moment because, like, come on, Marnie, like, it's such a precursor to Desi and just so gross. And I love it.
Right.
And yeah, I love your podcast. Bye.
Love you, Emma. I hate to have this reaction, but I'm like holding back anger from Emma. And I love you, girl. And I mean,
why?
and it's because I'm like, when Booth Johnson did that, that's one of the most romantic things I've ever seen a man do. To lock you in a TV. It's like, that's
Are
all
you
I want. That
kidding?
would work on me so well.
Are you
It's
joking?
all I've ever wanted.
Emma, we're sisters. That is so insane for Marnie to come out after being trapped in there against her will. And it's like he goes and makes a cappuccino while he does it. Like he does this to all his girls. And it's like if Marnie even had an ounce of like, she would know he does that to all his girls. And it's like,
No,
Marnie,
art moves me. Sorry.
he's gonna lock her up, and then she hates it the whole time, and then comes out and is like, "Oh my god, you're so hot to me now." Come on, Evan.
I really like that.
You're smarter than that.
No, I'm not. I'm not claiming to be. I would love it for someone to put me in such an intense situation like that. And it's for them to like go like chop vegetables, do yoga, and I'm like melting my brain. It's like, I don't know, kind of hot.
If I tried to roll my eyes into the back of my head, but I couldn't do it. But I want to. All love to you though.
Because I think one of the hottest things to me is when someone can be really smart at what they do.
See, for me, it reads as pretentious, and
I love
like
pretentious. So
I'm like, get over yourself.
I love pretentious, but like with a backbone to hold it up. Like someone's really good at designing chairs. Like that would be one of the biggest things for me.
See, that's the main difference between you and me, I think, actually.
Yeah.
In our relationship, it's like you're impressed by people that I find so like, get a grip.
No, I'm like the Dime Square culture has completely run over me, and I'm like, I love everything that they're up to.
And I think there's power in being like,
Well, if Girls was around today, they would really focus on Dime Square, I think. I'm going there in 1 hour.
Bushwick.
I'm going to Dime Square 1 hour. I'll actually bring back field research.
Damn. Well,
Yeah,
Emma,
it would be Bushwick. You know what? It would be Bushwick, Harlem, and Dime Square.
Emma, you've divided our home.
That's good, though,
I'm
Emma.
putting tape in our living room.
Emma, you have to know our home is almost always divided.
But thank you for calling in.
We love you.
I love that you're from New
We're
Mexico.
We're going to come to Albuquerque, and we're going to get turquoise, and we're going to have an amazing... We even go on a hot air balloon with you. I think that would be the best day of my life.
Wait, Emma, I can't wait. That'll be so... We'll have so much fun. Okay. Next. I love how many we have.
Hi, my name is Kristen. I'm 22 years old. I live in Boonton, New Jersey.
That's a name.
I first started watching Girls when I was 17 in high school, and I've rewatched it about 3 times. And my favorite line from season 2 is when Hannah is talking to Jessa about Sandy, and she's like, "But I don't know how I feel about him being a Republican." And Jessa's like, "What's the difference? They're all dirtbags." And Hannah's like, "How did I not know that?" And then Jessa's like, "Just read a newspaper, Hannah. Just read one newspaper." Thank you so much for listening.
Oh my God, wait,
Bye.
Kristen, you've kind of nailed what geopolitics is all about right now. Our generation is really trapped in the thing where it's like, we hate everyone.
Yeah, we're like red, blue. How about a third color?
No, we're going to vote blue, but like we're not happy about it for a single damn second.
Yeah, blue ultimately still has nothing to do with us even a little bit.
I know, it's really so interesting. Like there's everyone is surrounding us, at least. It's like, everyone's just so distasteful by all politics that it's like we know what we have to do, but we're not happy about it.
Literally.
And it's funny that Lena Dunham captured that then. Like she was able to write about it 10 years ago.
At Domino Park
That
with
is
the 3
at
puppies.
Domino Park, which I was actually at last night. I was actually at Domino Park for book club eating pizza.
Dialect coach could be huge for you. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I don't mean it.
Last night I was at Domino Park, so it's just funny for that scene to be happening there, and it's also my real life. But this is why I do think the show somehow works better now, because so many of the moments are so relevant to how our generation feels.
And of course, during the Obama era, people were like, actually, blue is perfect for me.
Exactly.
No
Blue is perfect
notes.
for me.
It is so funny that Jess is like, read a newspaper. I'm like, Jessa, do you read the newspaper, babe?
Well, I think that's the other thing with Gen Z. Oh, yeah. No one's reading a newspaper. Someone told me they listen to the morning show every day.
Oh, the Daily?
The Daily. And it's like, you're a liar. And
I
like,
spent 3 years listening to that daily. And then I was like, I don't have
no, what's
to.
it with like Robin, whatever?
Oh.
Good Morning America. They watch Good Morning America or
That
local
can't
news
be-
every day.
That can't be
And like
normal.
most news programs are more traumatizing than like any other show on earth.
Literally, they have nothing to do
That
with
should be
anything.
satire. The things that are coming out of there, it can never be good.
Wait, is the morning show, the TV show,
Yes.
back? Is it over?
You're talking about the morning show.
With Jen Aniston and Reese
I
Witherspoon?
know.
I haven't heard about it in
It's
so
kind
long.
of a Big Little Lies thing where it's like they would be open to it, but they're also famous. And also Big Little Lies. I think the director died
Oh.
or the producer, so they're never bringing it
Well,
back.
season 2 was disappointing, but I did love when Renata screams.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, next.
Next.
Hi, I'm Lola. I'm 19. I'm from
Slay.
North Carolina. I know, unfortunate. I just wanted to say that
Why does everyone hate their
I had
state?
to take like an actual extended break from watching Girls right after the episode where Marnie sings Stronger because it was too much. Like, I can't do that. And my friends and I reference it all the fucking time. Like, I have one friend who hasn't even watched Girls, and we made her watch the video of it. And now she's in on the joke, and it's great. Anyway, I thought that episode, that like, what is it called? Like a ship in a bottle episode or something? The episode where Hannah is
I
like
love
throwing
her.
away the trash in front of that guy's house, and then they like spend like 3 days together. I thought that was such a weird choice. I don't know if it was bad or good, but I feel like it was unnecessary, and that could have been just like there could have been other plot lines in that episode. Anyway, yippee! Bye.
No, wait, you're literally Lola's Jennifer Lawrence coded. Like when people see her on the internet, they be like, "You're so genuine." It's like, oh my god,
Lola, I
You're
would
a
die
real
for you.
girl.
Your
You're a
personality
real
is
girl.
perfect.
You're a real girl.
I love that your roommate or friend is not watching the show but is still connecting. That's the power of Marnie.
That's the power of Marnie. Marnie Renaissance.
Marnie Renaissance is huge. It is so
That might have to be what the merch is if we ever make any. It's like
Marnie Renaissance. It's just so funny that like people have taken on the cringe of this like made up experience so much that they can't continue on. They simply must log out of Max and not go on.
Max. It's funny because our guests have had the same experience too.
Yeah.
It's like that and like the ear cleaning.
You're not alone. It's like the end of season 2 really asked the question, can I keep watching this show?
I did look up saw all these lists today. It was like 40 best shows ever be on HBO, and like nonetheless included Girls.
What the hell? What are they? Righteous
I'm
gemstones?
like-
Get a grip.
No, literally, it's like shows that had one season.
Please.
Looking's not a bad show, but it doesn't need to be on the best shows of HBO.
Well, women famously don't get accolades.
I didn't even put like Veep on there.
Broad City, remember when they were like never even been nominated for an Emmy as their like Emmy campaign and it didn't work?
Hi, so my name's Kat. I'm from California. You can probably tell by my accent
Slay.
that I just turned 23 in June. And I really relate to Hannah's, this is kind of niche, but Hannah's Google searches
Yeah.
within this season. Hannah's trying to do the productive thing of writing her book, but then she like kind of is not feeling it. She exits out and it says like 12 fruits that'll make you fat. And then
That's so
on the season finale, she's Googling all of like these random things. And then, you know, she has like the punctured ear. And I think at 23, that's something we can all very much relate to. I think we're all a little bit paranoid. And it really reflects like on our Google searches. And that's something I really
I don't
made
think it's
note
even a
of
23
while
thing.
watching season 2.
I mean, Kat, I'm always saying this. It's like,
No, Amelia's whole joke structured around this. Do you want to do your joke?
I literally have a stand-up joke that's about Google searches, and it's like, finally Lena put it on screen because for so long, no TV show dared to admit that girls are constantly Googling, and especially
That's
young
why
adult
Quora
girls.
exists. I mean, it truly. That's why we have Yahoo Answers and Reddit. It's like
It's
because
like-
people are fucking Googling. Sorry. People are
Bleep
Googlers.
it. Bleep fucking. We don't say that on our podcast. No, it's so true because it's like there's no answers. Like you're doing so many. Like you're adulting for the first time. And you have so much to Google because nobody actually told you how to do
No,
anything.
I know. It's like this is why we need a class
Home ec, but for real life.
No, we need home ec for. It's like we don't actually know how to do anything, and that's why actually AI is really good because it's so much more effective way to get an answer. Like I search up all my Google questions now in ChatGPT and it really like goes really succinct.
I really need to get on that because right now I'm still doing Google and I know AI is the future and I don't want to be left behind.
I know. I was trying to explain to my parents because Amelia has this again as another joke and it's like they were really shocked by it, but it's like I explained how your sister doesn't really know how to read or write super well.
Totally.
Like scores are so down. Like my aunt and uncle are so worried because like, have you seen how bad test scores are now across the nation? I'm like, yeah, these kids don't know how to really do arithmetic, but they can code.
Literally, my sister knows how to code. Like, so who cares if she can't read a chapter book? She reads Discord.
No, exactly. It's like she reads Discord and she knows about Discord.
She's already a
The fact that
content
she- I can't even log into Discord.
Their generation
Have you ever tried?
is about content creation, not content consumption.
Oh.
They're the creator generation. Mark my words, they're going to rename it.
The creator, not alpha.
Not alpha.
The
It'll
alpha's
be...
kind of creation. I don't know what that means.
Is it? All right. Thanks, Kate. Cat. California represent.
Kitty cat?
We're getting kind of all the coasts of North America.
Okay, we're 90% women. Oh, we're 89% female listenership, 8% male, 2% NB, 1% not specified. I want not specified to call in.
My name is Sarah. I'm 21 years old, and I'm healing all the way from Regina, Saskatchewan in Canada. I know, pretty crazy, right? My favorite moments, well, number one, Hannah calling the police on Adam. I think I go back to for a quick chuckle all the time because I think it's something that I would do and try to just like brush off and pretend never actually happened.
Okay, no, Adam getting called. It's so funny, even just dialing 911 really quickly that someone would actually come and you're like, that's a prank. I didn't mean it.
The way Hannah was like, I literally called it for 1 second. Why would they show up? But it's like they have to do their due diligence.
Have you ever seen a policeman in a city? They absolutely do nothing ever. Like just sitting in a park yesterday, all they were doing is pacing back and forth for the same like 300 feet, looking to see if people were drinking alcohol and then carding them and then giving them tickets. It's like, that's their whole job. Have you ever been to the Metropolitan L stop? It's like all police all the time. They're traveling flocks. Like they're literally doing triangle formation going to Florida, but just through one subway stop. And there's so many of them all the time.
When the cops are in the subway, they're never doing anything helpful.
No, I mean, they won't even give you directions half the time.
They're being wreckers. They're on their phone. They're talking about like buying a Diet Coke. It's like scattered.
I know we're a generation primed to be negative about police, but like we have so many reasons to because I literally watch them operate and feel like they're never doing anything.
I'm
helpful.
Just like I'm really in touch with people's energies, and theirs are famously bad.
And they all need Reiki.
Yeah, they need Reiki.
One of the reasons I got into girls was actually because my best friend, when she'd moved away, was like, watch this show before we were going into university. I was like 17, 18 years old, and I started watching this amazing show that like was comedy and everything I ever wanted, and has really changed my perspective on life. Like this podcast, let me bring it back and say that I love it so, so much. Amelia and Evan, you guys totally moderate and bring the conversation up, bring it together. It's so much fun to hear. I love it. I love girls. I think it is just a formative text and just has made me who I am today, truly. And as you can see by this long-ass voice.
It got cut off.
I don't think you go past 3 minutes on Google Voice. But thank you so much for that. I do think I was saying this a second ago, but then the microphone died. Girls is a family heirloom. Like it's something that people are passing down generationally. They're passing it to their friends. It's like this sisterhood of traveling pants, this show.
This show is a sisterhood of traveling pants.
It fits for everyone.
It's like, yeah, your friend went to an East Coast college and you went to a West Coast. What are you going to do? How are you going to stay connected?
Girls.
Wow, I just gave myself chills. But thank you for the kind words.
Hi, girls podcast. This is Taylor Graves. So my favorite moment from season 2 is when Hannah and Elijah do cocaine and then they go to Father Marnie and Booth Jonathan. And Hannah's wearing that sheer, like, mesh neon top with no bra.
Heaven.
And the best quote that I still use for basically everything is when she goes, "It is a Wednesday afternoon, baby, and I'm alive."
Classic.
I'm 33. I'm obsessed with Girls because it came out right when I moved to the city.
Aww.
And my roommates and I, who were my friends from college, were living exactly how Lena had written the show. And also, minus maybe some of the, like, we didn't quite get all of the, we had jobs. I was shook to my core when I saw that at first, because it was the first time I'd ever seen, like, sex portrayed that way in such a, like, truly realistic and, like, kind of awful, not awful, just, like, very real way that was awkward and maybe not even awkward, maybe not even good or bad, just kind of like blah, because sometimes it's just weird. And, you know, seeing body use portrayed pretty regularly. Nothing crazy, just average. And I thought that she was super, super bold doing that because no one was doing that then. But yeah, that's it. Keep doing what you're all doing.
Thank you. Taylor makes the best impressions of all the girls of HBO. All the girls of HBO. All the girls, HBO girls. She has all the best HBO girls impressions on TikTok and Instagram, so please go look at them. They're so funny. Thank you so much for calling in. I mean, of course, episode 3 is such an iconic moment. Doing coke on a Wednesday is LOL-tastic. Amelia did... For work. Do you want to talk about your party drug?
I've never done coke. I would never do coke.
Right, exactly. On a Wednesday, of course.
Coke on a Wednesday is crazy. Coke on a weekend is crazy. I mean, literally, coke makes you feel so bad after.
Yeah.
Like, for days after, you're experiencing the lowest lows.
It's just like it's an upper. As someone who's always been on stimmies, it's like as ADHD, it's something.
But that episode is like forever.
No, it's ingrained.
Iconic. Them going to Booth
I'm more
Jonathan.
mesh kind of like in remnants.
Yeah.
Remembrance.
The Booth Jonathan, like, to go confront her at Booth Jonathan's apartment, like, the first night they're hooking up is so funny.
No, it's hilarious.
And nobody does it like that. And yeah, I don't think we talk about it enough on this podcast, how much no other shows on
Hannah's
TV.
full on coke anger here. Like, coke rage is like really so portrayed here. She's being Scarface.
Yeah.
She has 2 machine guns. She's like shooting down all the police as they try to storm her.
I, of course, don't know what Scarface is, and I don't care to learn.
No, I only watch, I guess my dad made me.
Okay, yeah. It's
but I do think it's really interesting to point you make about Sex Taylor in this show and how it really wasn't so represented on TV like this, especially from a female perspective. And to truly have...
And even to this day, TV shows are still not doing that.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Margot. I am 20 years old. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I don't know when I started watching Girls, but I think it was one of those where it was like my mom told me I couldn't watch it.
So you had to.
So
Rebel.
I did watch it. And it was like the raunchiest show ever. So me and my roommate also, we quote, "Girl, what girl are you?" all the time.
Aww.
And it's really fun. And my other roommate actually doesn't know what's going on, so she always says Shmoo because she thinks Soch is named Shmoo. So that's really good. Love the new segment, Girl Gets Your Glock, it's rapid fire time. Because I'm always asking people now when I'm out, are you a schoolgirl or are you getting schooled girl?
It's such an important question.
Yeah.
Margot, love you so much. You're killer.com.
It's also so cool to me that you live in Denver. I don't know why, but that city is so elusive.
I like Denver. I've been a few times.
I love to ski at
What was I
Keystone
going to say? I actually can't remember a single thought. Oh! Hey, Amelia, I have a question for you. This kind of really triggered it. Margot's message. Girl, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time. Amelia, are you a schoolgirl or you can get schoolgirl?
I'm a schoolgirl.
Why is Marty mad at you?
Because I see right through her.
What's your favorite utensil?
Fork.
Would you rather live in a nice building facing an old ugly building or ugly building facing a nice building?
I'm living in the nice building.
And we're kind of facing an ugly building. And that's kind of our situation now.
Yeah.
Are you a voice of a generation or a voice of a generation?
A voice of a generation.
And then we have to come up with one from here. What would make you wear a mesh top?
Literally, I can't stop, and you know that. I mean, every day I wake up and have to tell myself, you wore a mesh top yesterday, don't wear one today.
And you did it again.
Yeah.
Okay, you survived the rapid fire.
Wait, girl, get
Yeah.
your Glock. It's rapid fire time. Are you a schoolgirl? Or are you getting schooled,
I'm a schoolgirl.
Are you? Why is Marty mad at you?
Because I actually don't know how to pour things down the sink properly.
Yeah.
Or load a dishwasher.
Literally.
No, keep going. You can't ruminate.
Sorry. What's your favorite utensil?
Spork. I've been wanting to say that for so long.
Sport.
We don't
Are
really
you
own any
facing
sporks.
nice building
wait.
or
I have to
old
say
building?
two things. Oh, no. You're right. I'm in a nice building facing an old ugly building.
A voice of a
No,
generation?
actually, you know what? I hate to say this. I'm taking it all back. I'm in an old building facing a nice building. I know it's a wrong answer, but I love old buildings.
Are you
Especially
the
if you can-
voice of a generation or the voice of the generation?
A voice of a generation? I'm a voice of a generation.
Well, how many tacos is too many tacos?
Again, I don't really want to body shame, so I'm not going to answer that. Okay, one time at my country club, we did unlimited taco night.
You
And-
body shame me every day.
I cut that. At my country club, they sometimes do unlimited taco night. And my family, we did 20 tacos total. And then there's one family of the guy I had a crush on in high school. His whole family is like 6'8", everyone in his family. And the 4 of them or 5 of them went to the all-you-can-eat tacos because they belonged to the same country club. And they ate 120 tacos between the 5 of them. And so the country club lost so much money when they came.
Oh my
120
God.
tacos.
Among 5? A family of
Yeah.
5? I mean, okay, this is niche, but I was addicted to watching John and Kate Plus 8 and 19 Kids and Counting as a tween because they would do, like, in the bottom thirds, like, the math of, like, oh, they're going to the zoo. How many diapers do they have to pack? How many goldfish? How many snacks? And same for 19 Kids and Counting. It'd be like, here's how we make our casserole. This is how many eggs go into it. It was so incredible to think about the science and math of running a family unit that's so large.
Ooh.
I just found out.
No,
as
that's
I
home
said that.
economics.
I literally just got so excited.
That's why you'd be such a good mother.
I don't know if I'm.
You're really good at home economics.
Yeah.
Okay, I survived the rapid fire.
Wait, that's cool. Thanks for inspiring us to do rapid fire, girl.
Okay, so we have one more left.
Yes, we have one more
Well,
left.
should we just do the comments back and back?
And then we're gonna read some of the comments. I hope you guys like this format. We thought it'd be really fun to like include you guys because you are so much of what's going on. So yeah, it's fun to mix it up. Hear from y'all for once.
I love hearing from y'all.
Hi, my name is Bonita Rajpurohit. I am from India,
International.
Rajasthan. My favorite part about the second season has been the relationship between Adam and Hannah and how much believable it is to see the dynamics that they share. My favorite episode from the second season is One Man's Trash when she runs into Patrick Wilson, I think his name is. And the whole episode is just, you really live with that character throughout the day and you enjoy it throughout the day. And it's one of the best, like it's a very happy meal, kind of like a treat to see, to even see Hannah to have a sort of like a good time or like a escape from her mundane roles, mundane activities or the work that she has to take care of. Hannah, oh my God. I mean, Hannah is always my favorite. She is so, I don't know. She's just too real to be an actor. Everything seems so natural with her. And yes, this is what I think about the show. Thank you for listening to me.
Benita, I love you so much. Benita is one of the most faithful followers we have. Yeah, I love you so much. Thank you for all your comments always. And you're definitely your comment about Hannah and how her realism in acting, or Lena's realism in her acting, her performance is it's so believable and there's no like hesitation in that she's playing a character. Like she's really truly playing herself and does such a masterful job of even with the deviation in it and emotion like you hinted to. And I think especially I saw some cracks, like especially with Allison Williams when it came to Charlie and like her emotional reactions to him. Like there's a scene when they are about to have sex at Charlie's work. Like it really felt like she was acting, like kind of reading lines, and that was really poignant to me. And I understand your point about Jessa. Shoshana is such a character that it's like no one could actually ever fully be that. But it's still so masterfully done. Like that is such great character work. It's character actress.
I love what you said about One Man's Trash. Like, it really is, like, you often don't get in a TV show.
Day in the life vlog.
Like, the day in the life, the play-by-play of, like, a week. Like, you know, it's just, like, the scene happens and then the next day happens. And I do love that Lena chose to really show all the moments.
No, it's day in the life vlog. It's OOTD. It's like we're actually viscerally seeing, like, these small, intimate moments that are not always captured on TV. We're getting, like, the more micro, like, lens of this show. I really enjoy that part. That's a really great call out.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for leaving voicemails. That was so fun. It did take us 3 hours to go through them all.
But the best 3 hours of my life.
This is a perfect Thursday.
Okay.
We have some comments. So Sapani said, this is sort of minor, but I can't think of season 2 without absolutely thinking about how much I'd mock that jazz hate ladies where the magic happens sign if I worked there. My friends and family would not hear the end of it.
Jazz hate is all I think about every day. I actually will go to Amelia and quote this segment where it's like, here's your comfort zone. Here's where the magic happens. I will go to Amelia and every day. And it's like, it's so corny. Yes, his expression, but I'm like, kind of when you leave your comfort zone, that is where you will find some magic. Like that's kind of where personal growth lives. I mean, it is, of course, so corny, so dumb. It's like a sign in a kitchen. It's like live, laugh, lie, and it's a rooster sitting on top of a toaster. Mm-hmm. But in all these corny things, there's a little bit of truth.
My friend's mom in high school, entire house was decorated with like Texan like mother quote boards, and the backyard ones were all silly ones, and it was like, in this house we don't skinny dip, we chunky dunk. Isn't that crazy? And then the bathroom, it was just like so many that were like follow your heart mixed with like weird southern like jokes.
It's always like going into my house, the doormat says the neighbors have better stuff, and my neighbors bought us that.
That's so. It's like we're having fun.
From Riley Scarlett X, the excellent use of Fiona Apple. 1, 2, Joshua's house, and 3. Adam and Ray bonding over being weird, looking at Ray and crying.
We love Fiona Apple. We love her new album. We love her old album.
Yeah, 2020 Vegetable Colors is amazing.
That was huge during COVID.
Vegetable Colors. I've been in here too long. Yeah, I can hear. Let me find a Fiona Apple song that was playing. Oh yeah, it's Valentine. Yeah, Valentine song over the kissing sequence. In episode 9.
Cute.
Where Charlie and Marnie are kissing. And they're playing the song Valentine, I believe.
So cute.
I love that song. I mean, I agree. Like, that's the song that stuck out to me most throughout the season is Valentine, Fiona Apple.
Mine was the end credits that played fun.
Totally.
Because I love fun.
Just talk about Adam and Ray's relationship and that kind of the sketchy scheme on the shuttle. The shuttle to, of course,
Them going to Coney Island will never
It's not Coney Island.
Them going to Staten Island will never not be iconic. It's just so funny because it's like that's the scene you're talking about, the quote that's like, we both look kind of weird. Or like Ray is trying to like intellectualize it all and explain why they are similar. And then Adam just like unemotionally kind of just says, I think it's just because we both look weird.
Right, exactly. And I can't stop thinking about the girl that Ray hands a dog off to.
Oh
I think
my
we're
God,
gonna have
Webster Hall girl.
Webster Hall girl. I think we're having a real renaissance with that kind of character. Like if you look at Edie Monica's like character work right now, it's so similar to a girl like that. Like I do feel like I don't want to say like, but like this Jersey-esque like Staten Island
The girl in Euphoria season 2.
Exactly. I think these kind of characters. Oh, Chloe Terry.
No.
Oh.
The
Season
one that
1,
sits in the
season
bathroom.
1 and 2 were Yeah, no, I feel like we're gonna have a real renaissance with those kind of characters. Like, I think that's kind of the next big move we might see in like a Broad City X comedy.
Well, perfect. I can't wait.
It's because it's endlessly hilarious and there's so many things to work with.
Once the strike ends, it's gonna be huge. Okay. Oh, this quote at Kentucky Belle said, "I love the way I feel sad. I love you the way I feel sad for a monkey in a cage." When Shoshana gets the ick.
I can't stop thinking about that. Shoshana getting the ick over Ray, and then he's like, I thought you loved me. He's like, I love you the same way you love a monkey in a cage.
Where you're like, oh God, how do we help it?
Yeah, it's so cute and like helpless.
Sad. Okay.
At Mel McCoon, any moment with Laird, Hannah saying to secretly believe she's good at cutting hair, then later trying to cut her hair. I love it when the show reference earlier moments, and Marnie explains how she views her and Charlie's relationship status by saying, "We're old fogies now," to Charlie during lunch without a hint of irony. Yes.
Marnie's so real for that. It's like, Marnie's experiencing rock bottom at Roberta's, and then she's like, "We're old fogies. I've got it all figured out now that we're fucking again." It's like, babe, no, you've never been more lost.
No, the thing is, when it's like, the whole thing about expectations, meets them, then that's the darkest point, and that's kind of what we'll see in season 3. But like, Marnie has these expectations of her and Charlie now that they've separated, and like, those expectations will never be met. Like, she pictures them married with babies.
So crazy. I'm like,
I love it.
Get a grip. What was the other quote?
Hannah saying, "I'm secretly good at cutting hair."
The Hannah Laird of it all, like, it's like procuring the coke, Laird following her into like the fucking Walgreens, and then Hannah making out with him, and then at the end of the season, we get the satisfaction of Laird being like, you know what? You suck, because he had such a crush. We don't see him again for literally 6 episodes, and then he comes to help Hannah, and he's like, "By the way, my crush on you is gone because I realize you suck." And Hannah's like at the lowest, just lays down laterally.
I love that girl. She's a heart to keep them pumping.
Okay, at Mercerio.
There's actually a lot of good ones. We could cover some more.
The episode where Hannah is struggling with her OCD really resonated with her because her daughter has OCD. I feel like it's never accurately represented on TV. It's always portrayed as quirky and neat instead of absolutely debilitating like it truly is. That episode was super real and I really appreciate it. Okay, yeah, shout out Lena. I think Lena has OCD in real life, so she really did want to showcase it in a real way, and she knew how to do that.
I know. It's like, I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about OCD.
It is just like...
Yeah, exactly. I think she does a beautiful job of depicting... Like, I feel like we only have such a... We've talked about this in an earlier episode, but like our understanding of OCD is kind of limited. It's all mental health. Like, we always picture it in one specific lighting, but OCD, anxiety, depression, they always have such great deviations. And I think Hannah does a really good job here, kind of showing some deviation.
Definitely shows that it's not like this quirky thing, which like in high school, for me, my theater director loved to call me OCD Amy because I just like to be organized. It's like, I was actually just like color coding stuff and like to be clean. It's like, I did not have...
Being type A is not OCD.
Yeah, it was like the idea that like being type A was OCD. And I'm like, that's actually not something that
it's like my strange addiction is OCD.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I am really like sick. Like it was crazy when we were growing up how much we were like My Strange Addiction, and they brought back My Strange Addictions, but it's just like having Freak Show. It's like I hate that now.
I think it's so sick.
It's so sick that we were really so ingrained with like My 600-Pound Life, and these shows are always meant to make us feel better, but what, by punching others down? I'm kind of so over that kind of stuff.
Me too. TLC needs to die.
No, I'm just like, let's uplift people. TLC, when they did My 1,000-Pound Sisters or 1,000-Pound Sisters. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my friend who knew a producer on the show, and he was saying that they would reward if they like got in a big fight or did something energetic during it, they would reward them with like Starbucks. So they'd go as crazy as possible and like fatten them up still. So they buy them a giant Frappuccino. They did like a really good job at yelling at each other, the 2,000-Pound Sisters.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
I mean,
it makes the show so much worse to watch when you realize how evil everyone is.
It's the same with like the Love is Blind cast being like, They were
my God,
literally
yeah.
drugging us and paying us no money. It's like, yeah, TV is actually a bad industry.
I know. The thing is, what we're going to have for the next few years, reality TV. Like, there's such, even the Real Housewives are being treated terribly. And like, if they're being treated bad, who's going to be treated well?
Where's the reality TV union? It's on its way.
I know. That's the one I want to get into.
At Creepy PP said, I love Frank, cry emoji. We can never forget Frank.
No, well, R.I.P.
Gone, but never forgotten to
Never
that actor.
I thank you, Creepy PP. You're one of the best commenters out there too, so we appreciate that from you.
Yeah, we love Frank.
You always have the most insightful comments.
Frank and Hannah, God.
Frank and Hannah,
It's like if we don't listen hard enough, we forget they had sex. It did last 1.5 seconds.
It is so Problo.
It's so no hard feelings. If you guys saw the Jennifer Lawrence movie, it's so that. Okay. At Christine and 206 said the bottle episode is actually good and the reception it got at the time was ghastly. Ghastly. Okay, I love that word. Yeah, the bottle episode's iconic.
I know. I mean, how many times can we cover it? It's the best thing. I'm like, I'm bitch now. I'm like, how many times can we cover bottle episode? 1,000,000 times. And then really bottles on the wall. Pass one down.
99 bottle episodes, yeah, to get through. No, yeah, we could just have an entire podcast that's analyzing that episode.
We could do bottle episode podcast next.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, I'm losing glucose, but
I know my glucose levels are cruise. Okay, so I think we should just do our fave moments.
The episode where okay, yeah. Thank you to everybody who commented.
Thank you everyone who's been listening. It's like anytime I'm sad, I just like think about the people listening and how people are so excited about this podcast, and it really does make me feel so much better. And it's been such a stable, nice thing to have in my life, especially like going through his job hunt and like how stressful it's been. Like really like having this podcast has been so wonderful, and especially like open mic culture and stand-up culture can be like so intense at times and not always so rewarding, and this I feel like it's been such a rewarding process and something I've always wanted to do, and I get to talk about my favorite show on earth.
I love Evan because they get really earnest sometimes and I don't know how to match that energy and it scares me.
I think my parents growing up were very earnest in it. It's always been that way. My dad has.
You went to summer camp and they were like,
I also went to moral development high school, and that has to be said.
Yeah, like you really know how to do that. So I'm gonna follow that. And
are you gonna do earnest moment? Amelia's earnest moment. Okay, this is once in life.
Hey guys.
Okay, but go for it.
It's immediately not earnest. It's crazy because roommates aren't supposed to get along enough to kind of also do a thing on top of it, but we do, which is beautiful.
Beautiful.
And even though you don't know how to load the dishwasher, I still
it's such
love
a point
you.
of
Even though you leave 2 to 3 tablespoons of food in the sink at all times, I love you to death. You are my rock, my girl. There's no one in the world I'd rather podcast with.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm so excited to continue growing the podcast. Season 3 is gonna be fun. We're gonna have so many cool guests. Love all the engagement online. Love to hear what you guys have to say. So keep commenting, keep liking. We love it. We're addicted.
Yeah, just a fan call out. I said this so many times, but we've done season 3, episode 1 already. But I think we should change up the Girl Get Your Glock questions for season 3.
Okay.
So if anyone has any really fun questions based around girls that you want us to ask for kind of a revamp.
Wait, yeah. Comment what you think should be in like a question that we ask all our guests.
We'll put that as a question for this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. That's perfect.
Yeah. I think
on Spotify, there's like a question you can like submit to. So if you've never seen that before, take a look, like scroll down a little bit. You might be able to
there's 12 episodes this season, so it's really a long, exciting season. If there's anyone, just you can reach out to us. I mean, we'll try our best to try to get them on, but anyone you want to see that you think would be a really good fit for the show, to be as a guest, please suggest. We're always open to that. But thank you everyone for listening. Season 2 is so fun. We can't wait for season 3. We honestly, the guests we have lined up for season 3 are kind of lit.
To bring up a term that Marnie would.
Lit.
So yeah, we'll be back next week. Love you.
And Amy Schumer.
Yeah. Bye.